Third, gun versus gun for Insurgency Sandstorm. In this one, we're comparing two competitors that look very similar by taking the form of an oversized pistol, but we will find out that they are very different. It's the IMI UZI versus the H&K MP7. Both of these weapons have very different backgrounds. The Uzi is an early Cold War SMG from Israel, while the MP7 is a PDW designed at the end of the Cold War by Germany for NATO. Despite sharing the same kind of layout, these two are very different, both IRL and in the game. The Uzi is a giant glorified blowback pistol, while the MP7 is a really compact AR-18. So let's compare the stats. The Uzi is a 2-point gun, fires a 9x19 parabellum pistol round, has a fire rate of 600, muzzle velocity of 400, penetration of 177, and 26 for both horizontal and vertical recoil. The Uzi has a 25-round standard mag capacity, and is able to fire full or semi-auto. Let's see how the MP7 compares. The MP7 is a 4-point gun. Fires the teensy tiny 4.6x30 PDW round. Has a very fast rate of fire of 952, a muzzle velocity of 735, penetration of 731, horizontal recoil of 20, and a vertical of 18. The MP7 has a standard 20-round mag capacity, and can fire full or semi-auto. Now, despite these two having very similar layouts, we see that the stats are very different. The Uzi is just a slower gun at pretty much, well, everything, but it does have more ammo in its magazine than the MP7 does, at least standard. Both weapons have very different sight pictures with their iron sights. The MP7 iron sights are really small and very hard to see, especially on a base Xbox One, where the Uzi is kind of in the opposite end. It has very big iron sights, especially for an SMG. So neither of these guns have very good iron sights. They are usable, but both weapons benefit heavily from mounting an optic on them. Now, the MP7 works better with optics than the Uzi, as the Uzi has to have this rather strange Picatinny rail mounted on it on top in like a weird placement, and some of the sights don't really work on the Uzi in my opinion. You can put them on there. I mean, there's plenty of sights in the game to find which one you like, but most of them just look really weird. The reloads are also very different, despite the weapons having a somewhat similar layout, with the magazine being in the grip, like a giant pistol. The MP7 has a pretty quick reload, where the Uzi is, well, slow in comparison. At least the empty reload on the Uzi is slow. The partial mag chain seems to be on par with the MP7, but the comparison will show us. So, now let's move to recoil and controllability. This is a rather strange comparison, because while the Uzi has a lot higher recoil stats than the MP7, I find it to be a lot more easy to control. But there's a catch to this comparison as well. The MP7 is surprisingly a jumpy gun. It really wants to climb, but the thing is, it runs out of ammo before it can really climb at all, because of that fast rate of fire and its relatively small mag capacity. So most of your rounds are going in the same general area. Now, the Uzi will climb, but it takes a really long time to actually climb. I mean, it's extremely easy to keep the Uzi on target. So what attachments do we put on each weapon? Well, attachments don't really benefit the Uzi, where they do for the MP7. And I might have a harmful opinion here, but I think putting a recoil reducing attachment on the Uzi makes it a worse gun. Because the Uzi has an equal horizontal and vertical recoil, they cancel each other out, basically. So when you change one, or change both of them, you remove the Uzi's equilibrium. One attachment that the Uzi has access to, but the MP7 does not, is a drum mag. And I do not recommend the drum mag, simply because of how much it changes the Uzi's recoil. Use the regular extended mag if you need more rounds. The Uzi fires slow enough, you don't really get much benefit out of the 50 round drum mag compared to the 32 round extended mag. I mean, even the standard 25 round mag is still a good choice for the Uzi. Now, my setup with the Uzi changed constantly trying to figure this out, and you're probably noticing that in the background footage. But I think the best attachments for the Uzi came down to extended mag, flash hider, loading grip. The aiming grip could be good as well, but I felt the loading grip was the better choice overall. Now, for the MP7, you will need that extended mag. 20 rounds base with 952 RPM means that you're running out nearly as soon as you pull that trigger. And I tried using this weapon with the standard 20 rounds, and it's practically useless in my opinion. Maybe you can make 20 rounds work, but for me, I'm automatically equipping that extendo magazine. Besides the extended mag, it took me quite a while and a lot of games to find a good set of attachments for the MP7. Honestly, I was struggling with this weapon. I thought this weapon was complete and utter garbage, honestly. I mean, I tried no grip and a laser sight. That didn't work, because I was going for like a hip fire kind of thing. Wasn't feeling it. Aiming grip and a suppressor with a small red dot also didn't work for me either. And I was starting to think that there was no good setup for the MP7. But then I found the special sauce. The compensator. This little muzzle device turns this weapon into a beast. It reduces the recoil in such a way that it gives it to what feels like next to nothing, basically turning into how the MP7 feels in Call of Duty games. So, compensator and either a reload or aiming grip is a great choice. And the MP7 here is one of the few weapons I would actually recommend the quick draw grip, just because of how fast you're burning through that ammo, so you will need to switch to your secondary if you're not just going to die and respawn to get more ammo. So this is a tough choice between the two of who won this round. Now, if this was just a comparison between the base weapons, the Uzi is a much better gun base. A stock Uzi is a really good gun. A stock MP7 is not a good gun. A fully kitted out Uzi is still a good gun, but a fully kitted out MP7 is a great gun. And because we're comparing them in terms of domination, where the points don't matter, and you can equip the weapons however you want, I have to give this round to the MP7. Now, if I played a game mode where the points mattered, I think the Uzi is a better option, where you have to worry about what attachments you're putting on. Plus, with the Uzi being a 2-point gun, and the MP7 being a 4-point gun, in the other game modes, you can put a lot more attachments on the Uzi than you can with the MP7, or take a better pistol, or more armor, or more ammo. But for domination, MP7 is just better than Uzi. Not by much. Like, this is almost a draw. I almost want to call this a draw. Alright, tell me how you feel about this episode. Subscribe for more. If the series starts to get popular, I will start doing more of them, rather than just doing it every once in a while. Alright, bye.